I like Terraria. I'm an artist, and I don't have anything else to do. So here we go, drawing Terraria NPCs. First up, the best girl, the back alley doctor, the private healthcare enthusiast. I picked her first because her outfit is really simple and that's it, I don't know. I started sketching with a full body neutral pose that kinda just shows her design. And then continued with a few half body drawings that more focus on her character and vibes. Funny thing is, when I play Terraria, I don't really read the NPC dialogues, so whatever vibes I'm going to be giving these characters will just be my own headcanon. I will be consulting the wiki though, actually. Also tried doing a couple reaction image type drawings. Emphasis on the tried part here. I don't know what the fuck these were. And I ended the sketching phase with a few portraits. Good thing they released those menu portraits for these guys, they're gonna be really helpful to me in this video. I have strong opinions on some of the portraits, but the one for the nurse is actually really good. I really like the hairstyle and the earrings matching the eyes, it's pretty cool. My line art process couldn't even be considered line art, honestly. I just go over the sketch without really thinking about anything, I don't know. I did try to apply line weight variation for the first one, but then just gave up. My wrist hurts a lot when I draw, so anytime I start drawing, I immediately just want to complete it and move on. Which is the reason why my work is pretty sloppy and low effort looking in general. Anyways, look, I know that the proportions on the first two ended up being kinda crazy, but I didn't really realize that while sketching, so it's not my fault. It's not like I drew it. She's pretty cool for beginners. I think my first Moonlit defeat was just cheesing it with her, but that's kind of it honestly. As you start getting better at the game, you start to not use her as much anyways. There are mods that straight up ban her on boss fights as well. She can come in clutch for hardcore runs, I guess, that's also a plus. I'll say she's high B tier. My coloring and rendering process isn't any better than my line art. If it's available, I drop them from the reference and I do my best with the rendering. I looked up what the symbol on her head means and there isn't really anything certain. Some people say it's like a red cross, which would make sense, but it doesn't really look like the red cross symbol. It also looks a little like an orthodox cross, but I don't know if that's a thing on nurse uniforms. I think it's probably that medicine symbol, like the snake around the staff with wings. I think that's what it is. While looking for info on this, I actually ran into her old design, which looked like more of a full-on doctor than a nurse, with the gloves and the hand thing. Speaking of her design, I completely forgot about her armband on her outfit, which is kinda crazy since that's like the one detail she has on her outfit. In my defense, it's on her left arm and the left arm is kinda blocked or not drawn in most of these angles. And I present you the nurse. On to the next. I tried coming up with an outfit for her that isn't going to get this video age restricted. But maybe that's not something I should be worrying about after that nurse drawing. The full body pose here is her casting her attack. I think the best way to describe the vibe I have for her in mind is Starfire from DC. Like this curious outlander that doesn't really understand social cues very well. The first pose I came up was better and more dynamic, but the anatomy for it is a bit iffy. I actually also really like her portrait as well. I didn't really have her having bangs in mind, but I think these look pretty cool. Love those back hairs sticking up. When coming up with the context for these portraits, I was looking through the wiki for her dialogues, and noticed that she gets really mean during blood moons. And I thought it was a specific thing for her. But it's actually just Red being a weirdo and giving these dialogues to all female characters during Blood Moon as like a period joke. I don't really hate it though, some of them are kinda funny. And most people won't really even realize this anyways. Anyways, on to the line art. I did decide to go with the first pose I came up with, for the half body. As I was halfway into the drawings, it dawned on me that I might have a bit more than I could chew. This is only the second character and my wrist is already feeling like it's gonna fall off. To be fair, I could have planned this video better and started working on it earlier, so I kind of brought this on myself. As an NPC, I think she's like okay. She sells the opposite evil seed if you wanna like min-max stuff with the potions, so that's cool. Other than that, she also sells planter boxes, which are both good for herbs and can also replace platforms. Fun fact, I thought you can only plant the specific seed on a specific planter box as a beginner. But both of these purchases are kind of optional. Something that's not optional, I guess, is the purifying powders she sells, since it may be the only way you can save your town from world evil in early hard mode. Another plus for her, I guess, is that she's decently easy to make happy. Just put her in the jungle with the witch doctor, who is already probably gonna be there, and you can get the pylon. So I'll say she's like a lower and A tier NPC. The colors that whoever's behind the portraits picked for her were all amazing. It kinda motivated me to start learning about those stuff, but then I forgot about that. Not gonna lie, looking back on it, I really fumbled the expression on the half body. Like it almost looks intimidating rather than curious. I don't even know why. Maybe I should have pulled the iris a bit further up. I did my best with rendering the body on her attack pose. Made sure to portray the light position and color, but didn't put that much effort on the light source itself. And here I present you the Dryad. Next up. I had to at least draw one dude, I guess, to beat the Gunner allegations. The moment I started sketching, I realized that this drawing will be my bane. I just don't draw dudes as much, guys. Good thing his design is still relatively simple. He's basically naked with a few accessories on. I contemplated if I should give him antral legs, but I realized that I'm just not going to do all that. A while back I had seen a really high quality fanart of this character. It was a yaoi drawing with him and like a player character, wearing some in-game armor, and that basically shaped my view of him. In my headcanon, Witch Doctor will forever be like a muscular bottom. I tried showcasing that as much as possible. The hands on these drawings were really not the greatest, but give me a break, I was drawing from imagination. Not gonna lie, I'm still kinda okay with the body anatomy of man. I just don't really have a way of drawing faces for them that's consistent with my style. So that's actually two reasons Witch Doctor is actually perfect. One, he doesn't have a human face, and two, he's wearing a mask anyways. I really don't like the timelapse feature of Ibis Paint, since it doesn't show where I zoomed and stuff. It also comes out really low quality on higher resolutions, which is why I have to manually play the timelapse and then screen record it. But then it gets cropped. So yeah, it's pretty bad. My only other free option for a drawing software is Krita, but like, it's just too complicated and uncomfortable. It really doesn't feel like it's optimized for mobile devices. Anyways, back to the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor used to be the GOAT. He sold you post-Plantera tier rings for 75 gold at the beginning of the hard mode, which is insane. Sadly, the creature thought that was too good for us. Just like how he thought pre-boss meteor armor was too good for us as well. Both of those were pretty good balance changes, by the way, I'm just fucking around. Aside from leaf wings, he also sells you the imbuing station and also the pygmy necklace in pre-hard mode, which was one of my favorite changes to the game, honestly. So yeah, all these things puts him on upper and A tier in my opinion. Old Witch Doctor with the leaf rings would have been S tier probably. I wish I did a better job with the feathers on the back of his head, but I don't know, I'm not good with detailed stuff. But I was still mostly happy with this. And I present you the Witch Doctor. On to the next. I was excited to draw her with the big ass wrench. When looking for pose ideas for these, I searched up anime girls with big swords actually. I like her outfit design a lot as well. It seems that she has a cleavage showing on her Overworld sprite too, but I'm not going to add that. Whoever did the portraits didn't add it as well, it seems. Was happy with both of these poses. I didn't have her having bangs in mind. In my head, she just had a cleanly tied hair. So I decided to meet in the middle and give her these short bangs. I don't know if these are called short bangs. Regular bangs show up when I search short bangs, so I don't know. As I've said, when I play I don't really read the dialogues, so I was pretty surprised when I saw her and the Tinkerer in the ending cutscene. I think they're a cute couple. Not gonna lie, at this moment I was starting to have second thoughts on the hair. Like it didn't even really look like what I had in mind. It just looked like regular bangs. But I decided to just keep going with it. The mechanic as an NPC is kinda meh, I would say. I don't care about wire contraptions honestly. There are a few things she sells that are kinda useful though, like the actuators and timers. She also sells the mechanics rod, which is huge for fishing heads like me. But not that huge since it's like a 5% upgrade to what I would have on that stage of the game anyways. Considering all that, I'll say she's lower and B tier. Maybe I'm being too generous with these rankings. I'll change them up a little if I decided to make a full tier list. I don't know why, but this drawing wasn't ending up like I wanted it to be. Which was kinda sad since I actually really like her design. And it felt like I wasn't doing her justice. But hey, at some point you gotta finish the drawing and move on. And I present you the mechanic. Up next is what I would have said if the video wasn't over, but it is. Here are the drawings. I was pretty satisfied with most of these. I'm gonna be posting these on my socials as well, if you wanna have another look at them. Let me know which one was your favorite, or if you wanna see a part 2, and which NPCs you'd like to see on part 2. You can also check my tutorials as well if you want to. Most of the knowledge that I used here, I try to teach at my tutorials. Thank you for watching till the end. Have a nice day. Bye.